Hi there. Again, my name is Tiffany Bell, and I am the founder and host of this year's summit, Nonprofit CEO Summit. And I am glad to be able to share with you all about maintaining your vision, maintaining your mission, and maintaining your identity. Regardless of whether or not you're a nonprofit leader, you're an entrepreneur, or perhaps you're a corporate person who is interested in starting a nonprofit and you come to join us this week, I believe that the message that I have for you will be beneficial no matter where you're at within life, within your career path, within within whatever season that you find yourself in. And so, with that, I'm looking forward to just kind of sharing a bit about myself, and then, of course, what I believe will be beneficial for you all. As I mentioned before, Tiffany Bell, I am an entrepreneur. I am co-host of Success Women's Conference, co-director with Success Women's Partner with my friends Kern Sherry and Dorothy Wilson. I am an international best-selling author. I have worked in the nonprofit sector off and on for 25 years. I have a medical background. I originally joined the military fresh out of college. I went to college for a year, then I joined the military and began my career path from that point on. And so I've enjoyed the story that God has written with my life, and I love how He's brought all of it together. And again, I'm able to use my life experiences, the tools, the gifts and talents that He's given me to be able to equip other people. And so again, that's what Nonprofit CEO Summit is all about, and what I'd love to be able to share a bit more about tonight. So the first thing I want to just kind of concentrate on is just encouraging you to maintain your vision. What is it that you believe that God has given you to do? What is the mission of your nonprofit? But before you develop the mission, like, you had to have a vision, right? Before I sat in this chair that I'm sitting in now, initially that was a thought in a man's head. He or she, let me back that up. He or she had an image in their head, and they wanted this chair to function in a very specific way that would be comfortable, that would be easily accessible for moving in and out of tight spaces. It has wheels, so I can wheel around my office space. It has a lever to where I can adjust my height. The color of it is black. It blends in beautifully with my surroundings, and it's pretty to look at. So all of those things, the person who originally designed this chair, they had all those things in mind. And those are the things that I saw that really appealed to me, that made me want to purchase a chair. So again, I believe strongly that when God gives you a vision, that you're to take that vision and you're to embrace it. You start doing your research, you begin to share that vision with other people. You do whatever it is that God has placed on your heart in order to make that vision come forward. I truly believe that the steps of a righteous man are ordered. That's what the Bible says. So, when He gives you a vision, He is going to order the steps that you need to take in order to make that vision come to life, right? I also believe that He equips us for every good work. So what does that mean? Okay, gosh. So He gives you the vision. It would be crazy for Him to give you the vision, right? But then not actually give you the tools, not give you the people, not give you the funding, not to give you the things that you need in order to make that vision come to life, right? And so the person, again, that created this chair, they needed to make sure they're actually going to be able to get the tools, the leather for the threading, for the tufting, the hardware within the right color that would fit with the design. Like, all of those things are the resources, the tools that He put together to make the chair work, for it to be visibly appealing for me to want to purchase it. And so again, I truly believe, again, that your steps are order, and that when He gives you the vision, that He's going to give you everything that is needed in order to make that vision come to pass. When I believe very strongly in just getting wise counsel. Sometimes you have a vision, but you might not necessarily know how to get the steps, where to go to get the right steps. Again, that's a part of what Nonprofit CEO Summit is all about. It's just equipping individuals so they will have an understanding of what's their next step, whether it's the next step in order to start their nonprofit, or it's their next step to, pull to raise their fundraising level up another notch. Maybe it's the next step as far as providing adequate training so that their board becomes more engaged, or, being able to, again, just be able to impact, to increase the number of people who are actually hearing their message so that they can be served. No matter where you're at within that cycle, within that vision that God has given you, again, he's going to give you the people, tools, and resources that you need in order to do it, right? And so with that, you go out, seek counsel, find people that have experience in the area that you are walking in or that you potentially want to walk in. Now, I also want to make sure that as you seek counsel, the Bible does say that there's wisdom in the multitude of counsel. However, be also mindful that not everybody out there is for you. So as you begin to connect with individuals, be careful of be prayerful, I would even say, about the people that you are connecting with, and be sure, that you're not sharing your vision with the wrong individuals, of course, because everybody that's out there is not necessarily for you. And so with that, you just want to be very, be cognizant of the individuals that you're connecting with. Just be prayerful of that. Keep your eye open, but don't allow people to take advantage of you. One of the beautiful things that I love about just my personal story and how God has given me the vision for Nonprofit CEO is that when I kind of look back, I can see how all of my varied experiences, one as an entrepreneur, two as a nonprofit executive, how I've had the opportunity to serve on various boards. Again, some of them are local boards. I serve even on state level boards, and I serve on a board that's it's an international board where we help women in Nigeria become business owners, helping them to launch their businesses. And so because of my background, because of the experiences, some have been good and some have not been good, I'm able now to take my life experience and really kind of help other people with their vision so that they, again, can learn from the knots on my head. And I would also always encourage you, not to fear as God gives you that vision and says, hey, begin to walk this way. I would encourage you not to fear failure. I think that's something that can be paralyzing for a lot of people. And again, in my lifetime, I have unfortunately experienced lots of failures. There's some things that I've really stepped out in to do, and I've done well for a time. Sometimes, things just run its course. That season is over with. But then there are other times when I have stepped out and I'm telling you, all I've done is just fall flat in my face. But I never let that discourage me from getting up and taking my next step, or, just kind of regrouping and figuring out what direction to go. When I rise, I realize I rise with more wisdom than I had before I fell. And so with that, I'm going to take that wisdom and I'm going to move forward and use it as I, again, make the attempt to walk in the vision that I really truly believe that God has given me. And I think that us as, we as entrepreneurs, specifically women, we really, should exercise that wisdom in knowing when to continue moving, and also just be mindful there are times when you really should just pull back. You really should, examine, did you hear right? I'm saying, like, is this the right time? Sometimes it's a no. Sometimes the answer may not be no. Maybe the answer is not now. And so with that, again, you just want to just seek wisdom. Don't give up on your vision, but seek wisdom. You're seeking wisdom from people who've gone through similar life experiences or have had the same experience business-wise. But of course, you just want to be prayerful and be mindful, lead him, allow him to lead you, allow him to order your steps, and be okay with hearing a not now, or perhaps a not, a no. I've had no's before as well. But I've always, once I've gotten past it, I'm always grateful for when I've heard the no, because again, my wisdom, my insight is about this big, where I believe his is massive. He knows the end from the beginning. And so if he says no, he's saying no for a reason. And I can, I just have to just trust that it's okay, that no is for a reason. It's for a much greater good than what I can see from the vantage point that I'm at now. So don't give up though, but listen, be sure that you're attentive to listen. So the next thing is I just want to encourage you to make sure that you are maintaining your mission. So of course the vision is where you want to land at, but the mission is really the thing that you hope to accomplish, right? Like it is your why. You know what I'm saying? It is the problem as a nonprofit leader that you're trying to solve, right? And so one of the areas that I feel very passionate about, I help Pregnancy Resource Center. So feel very passionate about empowering women to make positive life decisions when it comes to choosing life for their child, right? And so I believe that women should not be pressured. I believe that women should be encouraged to choose life, but I feel like even with that encouragement, they need to be equipped. Like it's one thing to choose life for a baby, but she can't provide food, she can't provide clothing. You know, she doesn't have really the basic needs for herself. I cannot expect her to be able to provide that for her child. So I'm not just about choosing life for the baby for the sake of choosing life. I'm all about training her and equipping her so that she can not only give life, but they'll be able to maintain a positive lifestyle for her and for baby. And so that means I'm going to meet women where they're at. That means I'm going to love them through their choices. That means I'm going to advocate not just for the life of the baby, but it's really about advocating for the life of the woman. And so with that, I've been a teen mom, right? And so I know what it feels like to be afraid, right? And so I know what it feels like to have people though to come around me and support me through. And so even then, you know, as a 19-year-old pregnant, you know, my first choice, honestly, was to abort because it was the easy thing to do, right? I'm certainly glad I did not. I have a beautiful 26-year-old Breon now, and two beautiful grandchildren. Of course, I would not have had I followed through with the abortion plan that I initially went to, but because of that experience, you know, today I'm quite passionate about helping other people not to feel as if that's their only choice. But if they do choose that, then I'm still going to love them through that, you know? And so, again, what is the thing that you feel is really important? What is the mission of your nonprofit? What is that thing inside of your heart that you're trying to accomplish in and through your nonprofit, right? And so I would just encourage you, you know, you want to hold on to that mission, right? And so you want to be sure that as you're holding on to that mission, that you are going back to the very first thing when I talked about vision, is that you take the opportunity to cast your vision, share your vision at any point, right? You want to be intentional with that, and you want to make sure that you are casting your vision around that mission with intentionality, right? And so as you cast your vision, again, it's one thing for you to share, hey, I'm interested in doing this. No, sweetheart, you know, you want to cast your vision with and talk about your mission with intentionality. You want to make sure that you're not only telling the story, but you want to paint the picture, right? And so there's a clear difference between the two. Telling the story is just giving facts, right? But as you paint the picture, that's all about making sure that people can literally see and feel your passion. They can see and feel the goal that you want to accomplish. They can see and feel themselves as a part of that vision, to be a part of the mission, right? And as long as you are very intentional with how you cast your vision, how you paint the picture, how you tell the story, you know, those become connection points for people to join you and your nonprofit so that they, again, are wanting to give, they're wanting to volunteer, they're wanting to partner in some way, form, or fashion based upon the fact that you are very intentional to cast your vision, to share, you know, what your goals are, but also you're staying true to the mission that you genuinely have. I think that just in life, you know, as entrepreneurs, there's so much that's going on, you know, media wise. There's so much that's going on in our political world. There's, again, lots of social injustice that's going on all over the world. And though all these things are happening, I think it's quite easy for us to become discouraged. I think it's very easy for us to become distracted. I believe that it's very easy to kind of go off on some bunny trails and lose sight really of your original vision and lose sight of the mission that you were given to accomplish to begin with. And so with that, again, you want to make sure that there's a good bit of intentionality to maintain your vision and to maintain your mission and not to veer off from those two. You want to write the plan, you want to make it plain, write the vision and make it plain, you know what I'm saying? And then you want to be able to share that thing out. So again, other people are able to join you in the thing that you hope to accomplish. One of the things that I was always quite careful about, again, I've mentioned previously that I've been the executive director for a pregnancy resource center for about 8 years, for the past 8 years or so, and I recently stepped down from that. But I found several times that it was quite easy for us as a nonprofit, because there's so much need out there, to veer away from our focal point, right? And our focal point was really about just equipping women to, again, make positive life decisions, right? As surrounding the life of a baby. Well, again, women not only need, help with their pregnancy decisions, right? But they also some of them need jobs. Some of them are in abusive situations and they need to be able to get to a safe house. Some of them need help financially in regard to being able to maintain their utilities. Some of them need relationship advice. They're just in not necessarily abusive relationships, but they're in relationships that do not that do not foster positive, life-giving situations for themselves, so that they feel loved, so they are being respected, they're being protected in a manner, again, that I feel that God has called men to do for us as women to begin with, right? And so, again, there's so much out there, so many distractions, so much need there is to be met, more so than what really, I was equipped to be able to meet. The need is always greater than what I felt like I really could do on my own, or my team. But really, there are some times when we really just had to say no. And it wasn't because we did not care, but it was more of, hey, this is the mission that we have been given. Our mission is to equip women to make positive life decision when it comes to the life of the baby, when it comes to having and maintaining a healthy pregnancy. That is our core mission. And though there are lots of needs out there that may surround that, I could only do but so much, right? And so I could not meet all of the need, but what I could meet, I was willing to do so, right? Okay, and I believe that in maintaining, again, your mission, not only are you able to keep the main thing, so to speak, but I believe that this is an excellent way for us to resist burnout. Again, lots of bunny trails, lots of things that you as a nonprofit leader can be involved with, lots of problems out there that need to be solved. It doesn't negate your heart towards people, but is it what God has called you to do? Is that the problem that you've been set out, assigned to be able to solve? Again, you want to keep the main thing, the main thing. Another big part, I believe, in maintaining your mission is being sure that you keep mindful that you're here to really make a difference in the lives of people. Not so much about building a name for yourself, but it's really about building the lives of the people that you have the opportunity to connect with, right? And so I think, especially in the world of social media, right, in the world of magazines, celebrity life, like there's a lot of followers, possible followers, with your YouTube feed, with your Instagram feed, with your TikToks, with your Facebook friends, right? And I do believe, I see the value in all of that, mind you. I'm simply saying that you recognize that those are tools for you to be able to accomplish your mission, but that does not become the end of all things to where you miss your mission, but you become more interested in building your name instead of building the mission of the nonprofit. So again, you want to make sure, again, leverage those relationships, right? Yes, please go get the followers, maintain, create really great content for your social media feed, because again, that actually becomes a way for you to increase. That's another stream of income potentially for your nonprofit. I'm all about that, all about that. But what I am not about is saying, I don't think that we should forget really why is it that we're here. And sometimes, again, you can drift and not even realize you drift. You're drifting. I think about putting an anchor down in a boat. Why does a boat need to be anchored down? Like even if the seas are calm, they're still going to drop that anchor. Why is it that they're going to do that on a calm sea? There's no wind, there are no waves, there's nothing tossing. The current is low. Let's say all of the in a perfect world seems as if they should be able to kind of sit and just maintain a certain radius. However, that's really not how it works, right? They still drop the anchor down so that the boat, because the boat itself is going to drift, right? It is going to drift. It is not going to stay in that in a small little section. It is going to move, right? And so you want to make sure that you too are anchored around your mission and that you do not allow yourself to drift away from your original starting point. Now, I'm not saying that you may start off, with one original mission, but if it turns out that you see that the need is no longer there for your original mission and you need to make a change, you know what? That makes sense. Be sure that you do that, as you see how you're impacting your community. If there is no need that needs to be met, but there's something else out there that you see that would fit well with your team of people, that fits within your original mission. You're not jumping off from, saving babies, lives of babies, to going out and rescuing raccoons. You know what I'm saying? Like you've just decided, hey, instead of focusing on, pregnancy decisions for the life of the baby, we've just decided, hey, we just want to focus mainly on adoption. This, it still works, right? And so your followers, so to speak, your supporters, your donors, they're going to totally understand and relate to that. And then you're not having to start all over again and building a totally different brand. But again, when it comes to maintaining the main thing, make sure that you're focused really on the mission and that all of these distractions out in life don't allow you or your nonprofit to drift away from what you originally set out to do. And you actually lose good standing with your donor base. You lose good standing with your supporters. A friend of mine, he says that it's really important in his mind. He doesn't particularly enjoy watching people chase fame. He's like, hey, you want to not necessarily, you want to chase impact. You want to chase, you want to chase your mission, but you don't want to become famous based on that mission. It's not about you. It is all about your community. It's all about the people whose lives that you've decided, hey, you want to be a part of and you want to be able to make a difference in. And so, again, you want to maintain your mission and you want to be intentional about casting your vision, right? All right. So my last point I want to kind of talk to you about is just maintaining your identity. Again, I can see very easy, I'm sure all of us can relate, especially as women. I think that as a woman, it's very, very easy for us to lose our identity in the things that we do, right? So, yeah, I may have said earlier, I don't know if I started off by saying that I'm a mom, but I am a mom, right? But my identity as a mom, it's not all that I am. It's just a part of who I am, right? And I love my children. I'm also a grandparent. I love being a grandma. My kids, my grandkids, I want to hear grandma. I want to hear, I love you, grandma. And I'm going to get them whatever it is they want. The magic words, I love you, grandma. It works for all things, Ranji. But I'm also a member of Northwood Church, so that's the church that I serve with, here within my community in Gulfport, right? But I'm also a nonprofit guru, so to speak. I serve on multiple boards, right? But I'm also a friend and a mentor to many people within my circle. Those are all services. Those are all, how do I put it? Those are all functions of who I am. I function as a mom. I function as a nonprofit leader. I function as an entrepreneur. I function as a member of a church. I function as a grandmother. But those are not my identity, right? But those are tools that I believe, that roles in life that I use in order to meet my ultimate purpose in life. But I am not the end of all. Those are just things. Those don't do all together. Those are things that make up my life. But I am an independent Black woman who loves her family, who loves her faith, who loves her community, right? And so, again, those are just roles in my life, but I make sure that I don't lose myself in doing those things, right? So, there's so many facets to Tiffany Bell that I refuse. I do not want those different parts of me to get lost in any one particular role. I think that as a wife, I'm a widow. I've been married. My husband has been deceased for several years, but as a widow, as a wife, it would be very easy for me to have gotten lost and only be Kenneth Bell's wife. My life could be, all about, making sure that the home was kept, making sure that Ken had everything that he needed, just making sure that I was the quiet person that let him shine. And I have to admit, to a certain extent, I was exactly that. It wasn't until he passed that I really began to, explore and recognize like there are parts of Tiffany that had yet to be explored. There were parts of Tiffany that had yet to come alive. But for the season that I was in, the role that I played, the role that I played in regard to being a married wife, I have no regrets where that's concerned. But I do love the Tiffany Bell that is alive today. But I recognize that again, that all things working together for my good, that season of life was wonderful. But I never, ever, ever want to go back to being just Kenneth Bell's wife. I realize that I have so much more inside of me. I'm not just the mom. I'm not just a girlfriend. There's a lot to me, and I never want to get lost in that. So as a nonprofit leader, you want to make sure that you do not get lost in the work of your nonprofit. So there's Tiffany Bell, the executive director of a pregnancy resource center, and in that role, I will put on my hat and I will go out and be, whatever I need to be in that moment. But again, it doesn't define who I am. When that nonprofit closes, right, then what's left? Who am I then? Again, remember I mentioned my husband passed. Once he passed, I had to figure out who's Tiffany, like really, like if I went grocery shopping, I had to really just think about, well, what kind of cereal do I like? Like I was buying that because Ken liked that, and I get this cereal because my kids like that. But what is it that Tiffany likes? Again, I feel like, again, as leaders, I think that we can get so engrossed in the mission of the nonprofit to get, honestly, we can talk about entrepreneurs, corporate women. We get so lost in the corporate environment, in the nonprofit environment, and whatever. You can get so lost in your church community that again, you just don't know who you are. And so I want to just encourage you. Those things are just titles. You know what I'm saying? Those are seasons of, various seasons, and in different seasons, you do different things, but it doesn't necessarily, it should not define who you are as a person. Again, I feel purpose-wise that I am born to connect people to God. I know my purpose. I'm going to connect people to God. That's first and foremost. The second thing I'm going to do, I'm going to connect people to people. And then thirdly, I'm going to connect people to resources, right? And so I can do that with any hat on, whether or not I'm the nonprofit CEO founder. Great. This is what this whole 3-day event, 4-day event is all about: connecting people to people and people to resources. And if I say a little something that connects you to God, that is a win as well, right? Right. So again, I'm able to do those three things. Again, whether we're talking entrepreneurship, that's what I do with my children. I am wanting to make sure that they are understanding, again, I feel like, I'm reinforcing with them relationship with God. It's theirs to choose, mind you, but hey, I'm at least introducing it. I'm making sure that I'm connecting them with people. It's the coaches that coach them on the football field or the track field, or, it's the teachers inside of the school and making sure that they have a good rapport with them. It's the Sunday school teachers at church or so have you, whatever, however your organization is, it's getting them to volunteer within the community. Again, I'm connecting them to people. And again, within that, connecting them to resources, just an automatic thing. But, I do that as mom. right, for my children, but I also do that here in this setting as the founder of a conference, right? And so Success Women's Conference, as a part of that conference, I'm all about, again, connecting people, to resources, and sometimes even God, just kind of depending upon how we're rolling, right? Right. So again, who are you outside of your nonprofit? Are you taking time for yourself? Are you taking time to inventory who you are? Are you pulling away and making sure that you're feeding yourself? Are you feeding yourself so that you're one, able to relax? You're able to do a brain dump, that you really pull away and take a day where you're not a servant to your house, and you're not a servant to your church. You're not a servant to your nonprofit. You are a servant to yourself. You need that time, right? It is making sure that that you not only take time out for yourself and away from things, right, but that when you take that time out, that you're doing things that are very fulfilling to your heart. You know what I'm saying? And so for all of us, for different people, that's a different thing. It's the thing you would define what that looks like for you. For me, being able to pull away from the world that makes me feel good, I really just don't want to do anything. Honestly, I want to go, I want to watch a TV show. I really want the TV show to watch me, but I want to start off watching a show, and eventually I'm probably just going to drift off to sleep because I'm just tired, and I no longer I want to be entertained, mind you. I don't want to think, I don't want to talk to anyone. I am an introvert naturally, so Monday through Thursday, I'm okay to carry on lots of conversations with people, but normally by Friday, I'm just done. I am finished. I can come in on Friday and not leave again, honestly, until Monday. But most times, we have the church thing that happens on Sunday. So I got to go back out for a couple hours on a Sunday morning and be friendly. But if it were up to me, I would just go back into my little cave and not come out for 3 or 4 days at a time. But again, I realize I'm, back in my cave. I'm not connecting people with people. I'm not connecting people to God. I'm not connecting people to resources. And so that cannot be that's a break, but I cannot live there. And so again, I want to kind of go back to where we started. You as an entrepreneur, as a nonprofit leader, or maybe even as a corporate executive, no matter where you're at, as a mom, as a friend, as a community member, no matter what hat you're wearing, I want to make sure, again, that you're conscious and that you're working, you're intentional to maintain your vision, that you're intentional as far as just maintaining your mission, making sure you cast your vision and that you're staying true to both of those. But most importantly, I think, is really staying true to yourself and being sure that you don't lose yourself inside of your work, that you don't lose yourself even inside of your family, that none of those become your identity. Now, I know that as a Christian that my identity really is found in Christ. It's found in all that he's done for me. And because of that, I am free to love and to give and to be, right? And then there are other times because of that, I am free to go back into the corner and just cut people off for a little bit just so I can regroup. But I'm very clear again on whose I am and what he's done for me. And because of that, I want to naturally give and help and to serve people. I'm also quite clear on what my purpose is and how my purpose stays the same from day one, from 7 a.m. in the morning until the next morning when I wake up. My purpose never changes. However, how I function, the ways that I meet my purpose, that part will change. Sometimes it's as a mom, as a friend, as a nonprofit leader, as a church person. It's just whatever, it's just walking in a Walmart and holding a door open for someone that's walking through that needs my help. So again, as I mentioned before, my name is Tiffany Bell. I've thoroughly enjoyed being able to just talk and spend some time with you all this evening. I hope that you've enjoyed today's event. All of our speakers, again, I want to just a real quick thank you to them. I would love to have the opportunity to work with you. If you are a nonprofit professional and you need help with, fundraising, if you need help with your board development, if you need help with your programs, or if you need help, your articles incorporation, your bylaws, any of that, me or a member of my team will be very happy to service you. If you'd like to learn more about Nonprofit CEO, our network, again, that is the platform that we have in place to be able to give you, to meet your needs and to have someone on staff for the most part for you 24/7 that you can reach out and say, hey, I need help with this. I need some advice. that is the best way for us to be able to service you. The cost of that is $37 a month, and that comes with a plethora of different things. And so again, we want to make sure that it's affordable to you. We want to make sure that, it actually does meet your needs. This is again, all that we're here about Nonprofit CEO is equipping you so that in an affordable way, mind you, that so that you have all that you need in order to make your nonprofit profitable, and so that you can expand your reach, be able to connect, and be able to help people and really make an impact. So I'm going to end with this. As I talked previously, my mission in life is to connect people to God, people to resources, and people to people, right? And so in doing that, I realized that in the end, everything that I do, when I die, when I stand before God, the only thing I'll be able to take with me are the people that I've had an opportunity to impact. It's the people that I've had an opportunity to serve. It is the people that at some point has also helped to serve me. And so I want to be able to give back in that manner. And that's what CEO nonprofit CEO, that is why I am here. I am here to create a platform to be able to help you, and so that you can help others. Please kindly consider partnering with me. Again, if you want to learn more, go over to the virtual expo. I would be more than happy to connect with you there, or you can text the word nonprofit to 228-563-3222. Again, feel free to text the word nonprofit to 228-563-3222. 228-563-3222. My name is Tiffany Bell. I am founder and host of the Nonprofit CEO Summit, and I look forward to serving with you. You guys take care.